Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakudash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of every millstone that doing their well. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the members of the elect. The awful elect of the 1/3. Shalom. This is Brother Dawadaf in GMS Detroit Camp, coming at you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakudash. Today I want to do a video, alright, going in on this article that a brother sent within our group chat. Lord, will this video be edifying? Now, the title of this article is post meaning after, Breonna Taylor probe finds pattern of police misconduct in Louisville. The investigation found that Louisville police have systematically discriminated against black people, which are not black, we're Israelites, and the city's most vulnerable for more than a decade while avoiding accountability. Yeah. Which, come on, Jake, what did you expect? This doesn't come as a shock or a surprise. All right, we know that this devil hates us. All right, we know that this devil hates us. All right, he's against us. All right, it's to be expected. You can't seek mercy, all right, from an unmerciful man. You cannot seek justice from an unjust man. All right, that's what it says in the book of Isaiah. All right. This in Isaiah or Jeremiah? Jeremiah 13 and 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. Esau, he's accustomed to do evil. It's in his nature. He can't help it. Doing right is difficult for Esau. Doing right feels wrong to the so-called white man. So you can't expect him to do righteousness when he's been programmed to do wickedness. See? So this doesn't come as a shock or a surprise. The Louisville Metro Police Department systematically abused and used excessive force against, we'll use the proper term, against Israelite people in the years leading up to the killing of Breonna Taylor in 2020, according to the findings of a Justice Department investigation published Wednesday. The 90-page investigation report found that the police force in Kentucky's most populous city routinely uses excessive force. It says conducts unlawful searches and discriminates against black people, which are Israelites, and disabled people in the course of its policing activities. It also found that the department systematically violated protesters' First Amendment rights during the protests against police brutality that followed Taylor's killing and that of George Floyd in Minneapolis. Quote, for years, LMPD has practiced an aggressive style of policing that it deploys selectively, especially against black people, but also against vulnerable people across the city, the report states. The LMPD cites people for minor offenses like wide turns and broken tail lights, while serious crimes like sexual assault and homicide go unsolved. Some officers demonstrate disrespect for the people they are sworn to protect. Some officers have videotaped themselves throwing drinks at pedestrians from their cars, insulted people with disabilities, and called black people monkeys, animal, and boy. This conduct erodes community trust. Erode means to degrade. All right? To degrade or to decay. All right? So here it is. These same devils. And say, don't just think it's only the police department. You may think, oh, well, that proves the police are corrupt. Well, obviously. But that's how almost all Edomites feel about you so-called Negroes. All right? They'll smile at you at work, but then as soon as he or she gets home, you're back to being a monkey, an animal, a boy. And that's why the scriptures say they made no account of his labors. No matter how much or how hard you work for the so-called white man, they'll always see you as being a monkey, as being an animal, as being a boy. And don't think that that's only referring to the so-called Judites, the so-called black men. All right, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. It ain't just only about you. All right, you Israelite men and women. All right, that look so-called black. This doesn't only apply to you. Because best believe you so-called Mexicans, they feel the same way about you. All right? You're spics, you know? And then same thing for you so-called Native American Indians. They hate you too. And they constantly slander you as well. Here it is. They took your land and put their name on it. Then had the nerve to turn around and want to put you in reservations on your own land. Ain't that something? But we always got to forgive and forget. And then for you Latin tribes, look at what Christopher Columbus did to you. He said he couldn't put down his sword, no, not for a minute. All right? Then when you go to the so-called black man, look what he did. He took you from the west coast of Africa and booted you into captivity. And for over 300, really over 400 plus years, you've been catching all types of hell in America. All right? But here it is, you're still at the bottom. Meanwhile, someone from China could come over here within 2 years. They got a mortgage on the house. The children are put within college. Meanwhile, you've been here for over 400 years and you're still at the bottom. Same thing with you so-called Native American Indians. You've been here since, like Jake say, off jump, off rip. All right? Because the Northern Kingdom came here to escape the, to keep the laws within, a land that never mankind dwelt. All right? Leaving out of the Assyrian captivity. See? So they came over here to keep the laws, which they did, how does it go in 2 Ezra 13? I don't want to butcher it. Okay? Because here it is. You came over here, but you're still at the bottom. Even to this day, even though this was originally your land. All right? Second Ezra 13 and verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land at the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar the king of Assyria led away captive. He carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country, that's America, whenever mankind dwelt, America, that they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the floods till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of 1.5 years. And the same region is called Arsareth. All right, so this is them coming to America. All right, and here within America, you've been here, all right, for a very long time, for centuries, and yet they're still on reservations. They're still at the bottom, as a whole. You got some of them that are doing okay, they're in, they own casinos, but ultimately you're still at the bottom because that's nothing compared to what these international bankers have. Plus, yeah, you may own a casino, but they own your land. They put their name on your land and then force you into reservations. And then for you Latin tribes, because Latin tribes, they'll think they're so-called white because of how they look, because they got that light skin, because they got that straight hair. Well, guess what? Look at what he's done to South America. Look at what the so-called white man has done. Look at what he's done to Mexico. All right? There's a reason why you have many so-called Mexicans trying to push their way up into America, because they're catching hell where they're at. That's why you have the Latin tribes trying to push their way up to America, thinking the grass is greener on the other side. All right? You're not allowed to flourish. Why? Because you're under the curses. All right? And no matter where you go, these curses do follow you. Let's go back. It says, department leadership, according to the report, had allowed and even endorsed this conduct. So they were down, all right, with the police slandering Jake, calling you monkeys, calling you animals and boy and disrespecting you. And when Louisville saw widespread protests following Taylor's killing, the department unlawfully cracked down on lawful speech opposing its practices. Taylor, a 26-year-old black woman, was killed during a no-knock raid by Louisville police in March of 2020. Police had a search warrant but found no evidence of a crime. Taylor, sleeping in bed, was killed when police opened fire at her boyfriend, who said he had not heard them announce they were police and fired a warning shot when they forced entry. Police dispute this account, saying that they had announced themselves. Her boyfriend, unhurt, was charged with assault and that's crazy, and attempted murder of a police officer, but all charges against him were dismissed. Why? Because of the controversy, obviously. Because you have that unarmed so-called black woman that died. After being shot 6 times, Taylor died on the scene. 4 officers have been federally charged for violations of Taylor's civil rights. 1 pleaded guilty to 2 counts of conspiracy in August. See, so here it is. You will never find peace within this unpeaceful man's system. This is why ultimately Yahushua has to come back to destroy this place. Alright? Jeremiah 13:23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. All praises, honors, and glories be to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakudash, the honors to my apostles and elders of Ray Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.